thought, not gonna lie. Well, basically, we got the engine in, we got the fenders on, we did the little bit of welding that we had to do to the front, and reassembled the car, because honestly, who really wants to see a little bit of welding on that when you can watch the International Series? But either way, we got a battery in her. I plumbed the lines that I needed to for this task. Let's see if this 403 Oldsmobile will actually run. That's the main thing it has to do. So let's get right at it. Welcome to High Hill Stable Garage. I'll cry if it blows up.
I'll cry if it blows up. I'll cry if it blows up.
Not everything works right now because some of the grounds aren't hooked up for lights and that kind of stuff. It was close. It's really close. Updates. Checked my wiring. 4 and 8 were flipped. We flipped those back. Should be all set now. Try again. It should be happier this time round. Legend has it. So, after playing around with it, we got some updates. So, basically, with the distributor out, spark plugs out, and, the accessory drive loosened up, we still have a lot of rolling resistance on the crank. Thought maybe the starter was going out, but did my checks, and turns out it's the crank. Something's going on with the crank. Now, might be a rear main cap, might be one of the mains. It feels like a main for the amount of resistance that it has. So, what we have to do on this, we don't have the time to play around with this engine. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull this guy out and work with it from there. All right, 403 and the TH350 are on the ground. Trans Am's no longer here. And that's the reason why, right there. Here is our replacement engine, for better or for worse. Again, tight schedule. So who really knows what went wrong with that guy? I'm thinking it's a main cap that let go, and then, main bearing went. Either way, we're going to run this 260 olds. It's about, half the size, displacement-wise, as, the 403, but should work darn tootin'. So, either way, I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to put it in the car. I'll see you guys ready at first start. So, yeah, that's the engine inside the car. We got that done. So now it's a 260 olds inside here. Let's do a first start on her. See if it works out. hillbilly adapter to go from a 2-barrel Rochester to a 4-barrel Edelbrock. If it works, I'll bring you guys in and I'll show you guys how it is. Let's start this guy up. Alright, so I retimed it. I changed how I timed it on this guy. We're going to see if that makes a difference. I think it will. It should roughly be at 12 degrees before top dead center. Alright, we shut her down just because I think the throttle's sticking just a little bit. Yeah, it's right where the transmission kickdown joins. So we're going to remove that just for right now. We'll make a new connector down the road, but let's start her back up again. Double check some fluids. I'm going to hook up a timing light and we'll go from there. I think we're burning off a lot of old oil and stuff like that on those headers. Yes, sir. Don't mind the glasses. I found them in the car. I think they're pretty 70s, period correct. But either way, it's been about a week and a half of me driving the car, fiddling with it off camera, that kind of stuff. Just small things you guys didn't miss out on much. But I would like to show you guys basically the completed model of the 79 Trans Am running and driving. Let's go take a look. So general idling basically doesn't go above 160, 165. It's pretty much its limit. It loves it. It will sit here and idle all day. The little 260 olds with the 4-core radiator, it stays cold. There's no overheating issues anymore on this Trans Am with that small little engine. Now, as for the general construction with the body on, I'm not a body man. So, you know, my body lines might be 1/8 of an inch down here, might be 1/4 inch up there. It's just how she goes. You know what I mean? But I think it turned out pretty darn slick. I'll bring you guys around the car and we'll meet back here at the front. While she's kind of running here, it gives you an idea of the sound and the idle that it has. It sucks that the 4.3 doesn't have that nice loppy idle that the 403 did, but beggars can't be choosers in this case. Either way, it's just happy to be here. No problems whatsoever. Change out the antenna for a CB antenna and put a radio in her. Never used to have one. Basically, that CB antenna is now my radio antenna. Works pretty good, not gonna lie. But yeah, really, let's open up the engine bay and I'll show you guys how it's going while it's still running. But no, she's really just gonna kind of sit here and idle. No real issues. That top breather, I don't really have the right piece for it, so it's kind of sitting on the top on sponges. If anything, you can see the sponge down there. Either way, it works out pretty darn slick. But yeah, she's pretty much all done up wiring now, just small little gremlins here and there, but pretty much the entire thing's there. So let's key off there for a second. No need to have him running, that way you can hear it. But I did a nice detail, just you know, a couple cleans over the last couple weeks. Got it all nice and shiny because it's actually going to a show tomorrow. That's going to be pretty cool. But don't mind the rag, that's just clean off the tripod, you know, that kind of stuff. But we got the entire inside in here now. Really, it's really all coming together. The cosmetics and everything, I haven't touched. They're still the exact way my dad had it. Again, that CB antenna, he had that one kind of standing up. It wasn't going to anything. We plumbed it in and we made it actually useful. So it's still the same idea as what it used to be. But yeah, after 2 weeks of driving the thing, fiddling with it and everything, there's still small little things to go. Like I had to basically rewire the radio. There was no speakers, no radio, no nothing. The heater didn't work. Some of the gauges didn't work. We're still fighting an oil pressure gauge and a tack that doesn't work on this. Did a little bit of research. It's likely going to need a cluster, which, you know, kind of sucks. Won't be happening this year. But either way, that pretty much concludes the General Trans Am series. I know, eh? Time flies when you're having fun. We got her basically from sitting, not driving for 5 years. Redid the rear end, redid the brakes, redid the whole front frame section, bushings, a little bit of welding, brakes on the front, whole nose cone came off. We built an engine didn't, you know, do the thing. Took the engine out, put a 260 olds in it, just so we can enjoy it this year and it can do the thing. I think it's working out pretty darn slick. Couple little light issues, couple little things here and there that we addressed, undercoated the thing, painted some stuff underneath. It's all going well. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole series. You guys are going to see a lot more of this car going forward. I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, and then, you know, it wouldn't be right if I didn't bring up the obvious that, you know, is on some people's minds, especially mine. It's going to be on my mind for the next couple years. Unfortunately, when we started this project, one of the primary goals was to drive this with my dad. He didn't have the health really to do it himself anymore, so we took it on. Basically, hopefully Father's Day, it didn't pan out, that kind of stuff. Well, if you guys saw my last video, I've taken a break on some things, just a little bit, obvious stuff, and we'll touch on that in a later video. Basically, what ended up happening is my dad ended up passing before we could actually use the car. It kind of sucks or anything, it just sucks in general. We never got to take Dad for that drive in this car, really. Never got finished until a couple weeks after his funeral. But, you know, I think he would be proud at the end of the day that his car is up and driving again. It is reliable and it's not overheating. It always overheated. I think that would bring a smile to his face, to tell you the honest truth. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in this car again really, really soon. Not gonna lie.